Can I give some advice on how to personalize a query letter? My name is Gina. I'm an author, editor, publishing professional. I help you make your writing. This commenter pointed out rightly that in my query critique series, there isn't very much personalization in those letters. And that is because in the instructions and when you are uploading your letter, I say don't include any personalization because that is personal. And this is a very public platform. And I don't want people having to reveal stuff about themselves on my public platform that they don't want to have revealed accidentally. I don't want them talking about agents specifically. I don't want anyone like putting personal private details out that they don't want to have out there. You'll notice that there are actually a lot of those letters that have the bio paragraph cut off of them entirely, and I assume this is for the same reason that they don't want those personal details out on a very public platform. But how do you go about actually personalizing a query if no one is giving you examples on how to do so? Behold, I have some examples on how to do so. So we start with, because of your request for X, I think that you will love my manuscript title. So you are going to be looking at their manuscript wish list, or something that they said on their website, or something that they said on Twitter or in their TikTok or whatever, a newsletter that you subscribe to. You said that you were looking for this specific thing, and I think you would love my thing because it has that specific stuff in it. This is not something super vague. So you're not going to say like, because you represent fantasy and I have written fantasy, I want you to read my book. That's not what we're doing. That is like basic homework. That is the bar is on the ground and you're clearing it. So you're not going to brag about that. So this is if you have seen something that is specific, like, hey, you said that you were looking for more adult-driven, character-driven fantasies. I have written one of those. So this is not just like generally you represent this big genre, but like you said you were looking for holiday manuscripts with BIPOC characters. I have a holiday manuscript with BIPOC characters in it. I saw you at a conference and I loved what you said about why. So this, you do not have to have met them at this conference, but you saw them give a keynote. You saw them on a panel. You saw them teach a class. You signed up for their Patreon classes and you took something. So this is, you saw them teaching something somewhere and it really resonated and it was really helpful. And so what you are saying without saying it is like, I respect you as a professional and an expert in a thing that I would like to have support with, and I think that our professional skills will match well together. This is what you're bringing to the party, and then down in the bio paragraph is where the author is going to say what they are bringing to the party. So this is why I'm asking you, and then here's what I bring to the table. My work would fit well with your list as I have the similar book trait to an author. So this isn't, you're not going to be like, I look a lot like your other author. No, like this is, I have a similar voice to so-and-so. I write about my experience as a third culture immigrant kid the same way this other person does, but you're bringing a different culture to the table. Similarly, you say, I admire your work with author, somebody who is already on their list, and I have a similar trait. And this is, we are talking about your work. We are talking about the book. We are not talking about like, I make jokes on Twitter too, right? Like, so this is you presenting yourself as a professional partnership in this career. And then the very best kind of personalization to have is, I met you at an event and you said that you loved my pitch, and then you're going to go ahead and just put the whole pitch right there. This should be like your 1 to 2 sentence, like elevator style pitch, and like the 5-second version of it. So this can be an electronic or a virtual event. This can be an in-person event. This could be like some social thing that you happened to go to and you bumped into an agent, and it, for whatever reason, they were totally okay with them having this conversation with you. Like, let them drive that conversation. Don't pitch people generally out in their real life unless they are the one who bring it up and they talk to you about it. So don't pitch people in hallways at events. Don't pitch people in bathrooms at events. That happens, that's a real thing. And don't pitch them at the lunch at a table unless you are specifically there because they have said, we are having a working lunch and we will take pitches during this time. But if they have met you at some sort of professional event and they say, what are you working on? That is your opening to go ahead and talk about your stuff. And if they say, wow, that sounds great, would you send it to me? You can go ahead and use that. So these are the ways that you can personalize a query letter. This doesn't have to be this exact wording. In fact, I will move out of the way so you can screenshot or save it in some other, I don't know what other way there would be if there's some other, whatever. You know what I mean. You now have some templates to work off of. Don't go in and say, because you represent a genre, I have that genre. That's not personalization. That is just you doing your homework.